In this lab, we will calculate the mean, median, range, interquartile range, standard deviation for two different data using using a spreadsheet. Many USA drug companies have operations in Puerto Rico. The New York Times published a list of 10 of these companies with the tax savings that have been generated by operating in Puerto Rico. These were in millions of dollars. Calculate the mean and median tax savings. So for the mean, we will type equal. We will take the sum of all the values and we will divide by 10. And that's 110.17 in millions of dollars. Then we will calculate the median. Now for median, we need to rearrange the data in ascending order. So we have already arranged over here in ascending order, so from smallest to biggest. Now we need to find the middle number. So there are 10 data in total, and we will split, we will put 5 on the left hand side, and on the right hand side we'll have 5 data. So we are left with no data in between. So what we will do, we will take this 88.3 we will add 88.3 this data and 105.6, and then we will divide by 2, and that's 96.95. Otherwise, we can use Microsoft, we can use the spreadsheet tools to calculate mean and median. So, which is equal average of the data. So we will select the data. And that gives the same value, 110.17. And we will now we will use spreadsheet to find the median of the data. So we will type equal median, and we will select the range, that is A5 to J5. And that's 96.95 millions of dollars. Now we will calculate the range and the interquartile range. So the range is maximum minus minimum, so equal um, 219.4 minus the minimum 22.7, and that's 196.7 millions of dollars. And the interquartile range is we have to take split the data. So after arranging in ascending order, we split the data 50-50. So 50% on the left and 50% on the right. And on the left, for the 50% of data, we will find the middle number. So For the left hand side, the middle number is 67.5, and for the right hand side, the middle number is 158. So type equal. So the middle number 158 minus 67.5, index 90.5. We can use the spreadsheet tool to find the interquartile range. Let's have a look. No, we can't. So let's calculate the standard deviation of these tax savings. So in a spreadsheet, we will type equal, and there is a tool STDEV and bracket. We will choose the original data, and that gives 57.56. Otherwise, what we can do is let's copy this raw data and let's paste it here. And what we want to do, so this is the data, and for the data, for each of the data, we want to subtract the average, and we want to take the square after that. So let's do that. Equal the data minus average. So the average is 110.17. Close the bracket and exponent sign and 2. And so the average is 110.17. Yeah, and we will copy this to each of the other cells. Right. Now, let's have a look. We need to check okay. So the average, we are using the average 110.17. So that's in C8. Okay, and for the standard deviation, what we will do is we will type equal we will take the sum of all these data minus average squared. So that's in B19 up to K19. And then after taking the sum, we will divide by the number of data minus 1. So there are 10 data and minus 1 is 9. And then we will take the square root of it. So SQRT bracket, all of this, close the bracket. That's 57.5636855. Now, the next data is petty cash data. A company accountant has recorded the daily petty cash usage by clerical staff for the last 8 working days. Results were, so these are the results, and there are 8 data, and they are in dollars. So we want to calculate the average. So for the average, we can type equal average, and then we select all this data, which is A4 up to H4. Or what we can do, we can take the sum of A4 up to H4 and then divide by 10. Divide by 8. There are 8 data. And that's $31.94. $31.94. Now for the median, we need to rearrange the data in ascending order from smallest to biggest first, and we have done that here. And then we need to put half of it on the left and half of it on the right, and the middle number will be the median. But in this case, there are even number of data, so there is no middle number left. So to find the median, we will type equal. We'll take the 32.4 we will add 32.4 to 34.8, this data, and then we'll divide by 2. So we are taking the average of the left value and the right value, and the right minimum value and the left maximum value, and that gives 33.49. The range is the maximum, which is 40.07, minus the minimum, and that's 19.72. The interquartile range. Now after arranging the data into ascending order from smallest to biggest, the left hand side, 50% of the data on the left hand side, we need to split that into 50% left and 50% right. So So okay, so we have and then we take the middle of the left hand side data and middle of the right hand side data. But on the left hand side there were 4 data, so there is nothing in the middle left, and on the right hand side as well. So what we will do is we will for the right hand side we will take the average of the two values, 34.72 and 35.94, and then we will divide by 2, and then we will subtract the average of the left hand values. So 26.39 plus 31.07 and then divide by 2, and that's 6.6. Now for the standard deviation, we can use the tool in the spreadsheet, equal STDEV of, and then select the data, and that's approximately 6.13. Now this is same as calculating the data, calculating standard deviation. So if we don't have that tool available, then we can manually calculate using this formula. So what we do is we take the data, subtract the average, take the square, and then it gives all these values, and then what we do is equal, we take the sum of all these squared values, and then we divide by the count minus 1. So the number of data is 8, and 8 minus 1 is 7, and then we take the square root of it. And that's approximately 6.13.